everyone, welcome to Roma Theory. Today we will speak about Jose's future. Today we're going to speak about chances of renewal, not chances of renewal. Because Di Marzio actually released an interview yesterday saying and basically confirming that Mourinho leaving at the end of the season is imminent. There have been no signs of an extension on the contract. And it does mean that Mourinho will leave at the end of the season. And it's interesting. I definitely want to give my thoughts on this. I think it's a very heated topic at the moment. I don't particularly think it's the moment to speak about this. But yeah, I mean, Di Marzio has kind of spoken about this yesterday. So this being a fan channel, we will obviously cover everything that has been talked about and rumoured about in the Roma environment and around it. So yeah, very curious to know everyone's opinion on this, listening to Di Marzio's comments. I'm going to give my opinion on this as well. If you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. Do it right now. Click all of the things below. I'm going to actually start by reading what Di Marzio said, just prepare and set the scene. So this is, the exact words coming from Gianluca Di Marzio, transfer market expert, Serie A expert. He basically said this: the renewal with Roma will not arrive. There have never been negotiations with the club, and therefore at the end of the season there will be a breakup once the contract expires. There is no doubt about this. It is possible that Mourinho will try an adventure in Saudi Arabia. They already wanted him this summer with Mourinho free. They will try again. Then we will obviously have to see if he decides to wait for other European offers, or if he decides to go with the Saudi Arabian path, which at time of speaking looks like the most plausible path. So this is what he says. I mean, you read this and Di Marzio is basically confirming that Mourinho will leave at the end of the season. I mean, according to Di Marzio, it's done. According to Di Marzio, there's no chance that Jose renews. According to Di Marzio, there's no chance that Jose extends. And according to Di Marzio, you see, a very important thing here, which needs to be pointed out, which I was listening to this interview that Di Marzio had yesterday, and he actually paid a lot of attention to the fact that Mourinho wants an extension to the contract. It's the ownership and the Fredkins who feel like they want to change manager. I don't necessarily agree with this, in the sense that we need to get, if it is true that Mourinho won't extend his contract, we need to get somebody who, number one, can withstand what Mourinho has left. Number two, can withstand the pressure coming from the fan after being Mourinho's successor. And number three, we need somebody who is ready to start with what he has. And this last point is very important. There is no time to not present an extension to Mourinho. Mourinho leaves, we get another manager, and we restart the project. There is no time for that. We haven't been playing in the Champions League for too long. Other teams in this league are diverging away from us at a rate of speed which looks like it's unstoppable. There is no more time to change your manager, restart the project again, give him 3 years. The first year he builds something, second year he develops it, third year he wins. Genuinely, and it's very important, we can't do this. So what I'm trying to say is, if we get a new manager, which according to Di Marzio is imminent at the end of the season, the manager needs to be ready to build upon what Mourinho has built. There is no time to have a clear out of players, restart, get all of the players that the manager wants, because that's going to take too much time, and time is ticking. So we need a manager who is ready to compete at high levels starting from day one. And that is using the players that we've had under Mourinho. And that is another very important reason, withstanding the pressure. This is going to be, the pressure of changing manager is going to be big towards our ownership. Because, Mourinho is a manager which has understood and has created a relationship between the fans and himself and the club. You know, he has, over these past 3 years, he's worked under a very big term, the word empathy. He's worked underneath it. He's studied what a Roma fan is. He's studied the suffering of a Roma fan. And he's kind of entered in every single Roma fan's mind to work well. Not every manager does that. So the day Mourinho will leave, this city will go on tilt. The Roma fans will go on tilt, because as much as Mourinho has entered in their minds, we have entered in his mind. So it's going to be one of those very emotional breakups. We continue, you know, as a big chant says, passano I giocatori e anche I presidenti, ma noi saremo qua. Roma continues. But obviously, there has to be a limit of pressure here. I'll give you an example. You cannot go from appointing Mourinho to appointing Mrs. Trunchbull. You can't do that, because the fans are going to get a heart attack. So if you change manager, you need somebody which can kind of not make the enthusiasm of Roma fans disappear. Another reason, if the new manager we buy does not satisfy the enthusiasm of the fan base, forget about a sold out stadium every weekend. That's not happening anymore. One of the reasons why we have, 72 consecutive home sold out stadiums is because Mourinho has created a bond, and he's made this part of our routine. And not many managers do that. So what I'm trying to say here is this. We either get a manager who's ready, or we extend his contract. The second option looks impossible after listening to what Di Marzio said. And obviously there have been manager names linked with us. What I'm trying to say here is, we either get Conte or we extend Jose's contract. We cannot get a manager like, I'll give you an example, he hasn't been linked with us, but we can't get a manager like Juric from Torino. Because, you know, I'm not joking when I say the fans are going to get a heart attack. There needs to be a balance. And this non-extending the contract is solely coming from our ownership, which wants to try something else. Because Mourinho wants that extension. He's made it very clear in the way he's spoken about this moment. He's made it very clear that he wants to stay, but that this decision of him staying doesn't depend on him. So that's very, very important. But, you know, with that being said, do I think there's a chance? Obviously there's a chance. Until he leaves, until the day he packs his bag and goes away, there'll always be a chance. I have to be honest with you, this chance right now looks very, very unlikely. But I think there's a key. I think there's a key to everything in life. I think there's a key to many things. What is this on my screen? Oh no, that's the little sticker. I thought that was oh my god, I thought that was an insect. I just got baited by my own camera. Look, there's always a chance, and there's a key to this chance. And I think this key is Champions League football. If we get Champions League football, I think it would make no sense, number one, for the ownership to not extend our manager's contract. Number two, for our manager to leave. And number three, you've kind of built this step by step, bringing this team back to Champions League football. And then we get, hypothetically, Champions League football, and then we it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, I said this in the fan forum. It's like you work so hard the entire year, day in and day out. You wake up at 6 a.m, go to school, go to work, whatever age group you belong to. July comes, August comes, you've got those 2 weeks of relax, you've booked a flight to Cancun in Mexico, and you gotta cancel that flight. I mean, it would make no sense. you've worked towards something, that the moment you achieve that thing, experience it. And I'm sure that Mourinho wants to experience managing this team with whom he's created such an affection in the biggest tournament out there. So if we get Champions League football, I think there is a chance of him staying. I think it would make no sense if he leaves. But if we don't get Champions League football, he's going to leave, 100%. Who will be next? I don't know. It's not the moment to speak about now. The team needs to be focused to achieve the best things possible, because as I just said, if we were by miracle get Champions League football, then maybe everything gets kicked away and he stays. He said it in a press conference, until the 30th of June, I will die for this team. And that's the mentality of the which needs to belong to the players, to the manager, and to everyone around him. But also another thing is, if we end up deciding the ultimate decision of whether we extend his contract or not, I think it would be very wrong to keep it until the very, very last few days. Because if the earlier we get the decision, the earlier we can start programming for future seasons. If we extend if we take a decision about extending or not extending Jose's contract 2 days before his contract expires, that hasn't left a lot of time to program. So decision needs to be made. It's a yes or no, and I'm expecting an answer by February, March, something like that. But it can't be more than that, especially because it could have repercussions towards the end of the season. But again, it's not the moment to speak about this. The moment now is, first of all, to enjoy Italy battering England tonight. I think we'll lose, but you never know. You never know. Spalletti's magic. And, second of all, winning games, showing under the results that we're a good team and that, we have a chance of maybe qualifying for Champions League. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think, because I think it's a heated argument. And where I think you'll go, to be honest, I think you'll go to Saudi. I think both the Saudis and him are making it very clear that Mourinho's next stage is going to be in Saudi Arabia. The fact that in various press conferences from the start of the season to now, Jose has said, well, I've refused a lot of money to stay here, kind of suggests to me that he was tempted by that offer and then he chose to stay. I think he's tempted. I think obviously the money is massive. I think he will go to Saudi Arabia. Football will lose yet another brick of heritage. But, that's the pattern nowadays. And yeah. But we'll see what happens. I'll catch you tomorrow tomorrow is Wednesday. We're playing on Thursday. We're playing on Sunday. Early kickoff on Sunday. So maybe we can do an early match preview tomorrow, or maybe we'll do it on Thursday. But if you haven't already, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and opinions on this, and also let me know your final score results of the England-Italy game. Can't wait for it. We're gonna shush the Brits up. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that like button. It takes 2 seconds and it supports this community a lot. Also smash the subscribe if you have already subscribed, and get your families and friends to subscribe. And talk to you soon. Take care. See you out.